Biomed Sciences is a company that focuses on innovations in skin. And there are three areas where we're active. The first is wound care. This would be when you have an open wound, typically a burn injury, where it's bleeding, it can get infected, it's treated in an operating room type environment. The second area that we work in is scar management, and that's the later phase. Once the wound is closed, there's no opportunity for infection, but now you have scarring occurring. And particularly with burn injuries where you have wide area scars, unlike an incisional injury, these wide area scars can be very limiting on functionality, range of motion, and so forth, plus disfiguring, of course. And then the third area that we're getting into a little bit more recently is what we call renewing technologies, which is more in the cosmetic area for wrinkle reduction and applications of that sort, where we put an active ingredient into the product to tighten skin. The way that it worked out was that our very first initial product didn't turn out to be very commercially viable. It looked really interesting. It was unique. I was very naive about what marketing was going to be about. I, as an engineer, didn't have the business background. I thought, well, once I get the product manufactured and get regulatory approval, it'll sell. So from that point, we moved into a new line of products in treating scars. Our initial product was a wound dressing, a temporary skin replacement. And from there, we moved into making scars for burn rehabilitation, the process of managing scarring and restoring function. And we got a lot more traction there. And so that was a key turning point for the company. And then at one point, we licensed our technology to Pfizer, and they brought it out under the Neosporin brand name. And that was a great shot in the arm for us. But a few years later, Pfizer sold their consumer products division to Johnson & Johnson, and we were, at the time, selling about $10 million a year in revenue in this product, which was, I thought, great, but to J&J, it wasn't worth their time. I spent the first couple of years organizing, researching, making samples literally in a frying pan in my apartment kitchen, and finally got the technology to a point, once the first few patents issued, I was put in contact with the people here at the Ben Franklin Technology Center, and as it turned out, there was some space in the old incubator building, and I moved the operation there. We had started off with less than 1,000 square feet, and just a little tiny operation, and that was enough to get us through the process development and regulatory approval process. And from there, we went on to just grow, and now we're 17,000 square feet, which is still relatively small. We're 20 employees, but we sell into 50 foreign countries. We have about 50 patents, including the international ones, and the company's doing well. We're healthy and profitable and paying dividends and returning the investment. Ben Franklin was always a great sounding board. Certainly, the biggest area of contribution was in credibility of having been admitted into the program, and then resources. And so in that sense, at a very economical cost, we had the resources of a major corporation.